Imagine waiting 4 years for the FIFA World Cup. Billions of fans around the world are watching. The opening ceremony ends, the whistle blows, and suddenly, history begins. But not every World Cup opener has been memorable. Some were thrilling goal fests, some produced shocking upsets, and some were so boring that fans wanted them to end as quickly as possible. Today we're ranking every FIFA World Cup opening match from 1930 to 2022, from the least exciting to the greatest opener ever played. Let's begin. Starting our list at the bottom is the opening match of the 1966 World Cup. A packed Wembley Stadium expected fireworks. Instead, they got 90 minutes of frustration. Hosts England couldn't break down Uruguay. Uruguay were happy to defend. The result was a dull 0-0 draw. England would eventually win the tournament, but their World Cup campaign started with one of the least exciting openers ever. The legendary Estadio Azteca hosted the opening match of the first World Cup in Mexico. The atmosphere was incredible. The football wasn't. Despite featuring talented players on both sides, neither team found the net. It's remembered more for its historic setting than the match itself. Another opening match, another scoreless draw. The defending champions played cautiously. Chile focused on staying organized. The result was a forgettable contest with very few memorable moments. Hosts Argentina opened their home World Cup against Hungary. The crowd expected goals. Instead, they witnessed another defensive stalemate. Argentina would later lift the trophy, but this opener failed to capture the imagination. Italy's World Cup began with a narrow victory. The match remained tense until substitute Salvatore Schillaci scored the winner. The goal itself became iconic. The overall match, however, was fairly cautious. Still, it was more entertaining than the scoreless draws above it. The defending champions started their title defense with a narrow victory. A single goal separated the teams. There wasn't much drama. But Germany got the job done. A solid opener, though not a memorable one. Now things get interesting. Few people expected Cameroon to beat Germany, but the African side shocked the world. The upset announced that the 2002 World Cup would be anything but unpredictable. This match made history. For the first time ever, a host nation lost its opening World Cup match. Ecuador dominated from the start. Ener Valencia scored twice, and Qatar struggled under the pressure of hosting the tournament. Not the most exciting match, but certainly historic. One of the biggest surprises in opening match history. Defending champions Italy were expected to win. Instead, Bulgaria stunned them. The upset immediately grabbed headlines around the world. The defending champions faced a strong Italian side. Both teams attacked, both teams scored, and the match remained competitive throughout. A respectable opener that set the tone for a tournament eventually won by Diego Maradona's Argentina. The hosts kicked off their World Cup campaign with a victory. The match wasn't spectacular, but it launched France's journey toward its first ever World Cup title. Looking back, that makes it much more significant. Now we're entering the truly memorable matches. The first World Cup ever held in Africa opened with an unforgettable atmosphere. The sound of the vuvuzelas echoed around the world. Sifiwe Tshabalala scored one of the greatest opening match goals ever. The stadium exploded. Mexico equalized later, but the emotion of that goal remains legendary. Hosts Sweden delivered an impressive performance. 3 goals, dominant football, and a perfect start to their home tournament. It wasn't a thriller, but it was entertaining from start to finish. The newly built Maracanã Stadium was packed with over 80,000 fans. Brazil put on a show, 4 goals, total dominance, and the beginning of one of the most dramatic World Cups ever. Brazil hosted the World Cup for the first time since 1950. The pressure was enormous. Croatia shocked the crowd by taking the lead. Brazil responded. Neymar scored twice. The hosts eventually won 3-1. The match delivered goals, drama, controversy, and excitement. 7 goals. One of the biggest victories ever recorded in an opening World Cup match. Italy completely overwhelmed the United States. The scoreline alone secures its place among the most memorable openers in history. Nobody expected this. Russia entered the tournament with low expectations. Then they exploded. 5 goals, a packed stadium, a perfect opening ceremony, and a shocking result that energized the entire tournament. The newest entry on our list didn't waste any time making history. The first match of the expanded 48-team FIFA World Cup took place in front of more than 80,000 fans at the legendary Estadio Azteca. Mexico knew the pressure. For decades, they had never won a World Cup opening match. That changed in 2026. Just 9 minutes into the tournament, Julián Quiñones scored the first goal of the World Cup, sending the stadium into chaos. South Africa fought hard, but the game became increasingly dramatic. Red cards began to fly. Tempers boiled over. By the final whistle, there had been 3 dismissals, more red cards than goals. Raúl Jiménez sealed a 2-0 victory, giving Mexico their first ever World Cup opening match win, and creating one of the most memorable starts to a tournament in FIFA history. This match wasn't just the beginning of a World Cup, it was the beginning of a brand new era. This wasn't just an opening match, it was football history. The first World Cup game ever played, and the first World Cup goal was scored by Lucien Laurent of France. Without this match, there is no World Cup history. Its significance alone earns it a place near the top. One of the greatest upsets football has ever seen. World champions France entered the tournament as favorites. Senegal were making their World Cup debut. Nobody gave them a chance. Then Papa Bouba Diop scored. Senegal held on. And the football world was stunned. 20 years later, it's still remembered as one of the biggest shocks in World Cup history. For many fans, this is the greatest opener ever. 6 goals, amazing strikes, non-stop action. Philipp Lahm scored one of the most beautiful opening goals in World Cup history. Costa Rica kept fighting back. Germany kept attacking. The match never slowed down. If you're looking for pure entertainment, this might be number 1. Our top spot goes to the opener that shocked the entire football world. Argentina entered as defending champions. They had one of the greatest players ever in Diego Maradona. Belgium were expected to lose. Instead, they won. The upset completely changed the mood of the tournament and remains one of the most iconic opening matches ever played. Sometimes the greatest football stories aren't about goals. They're about the impossible becoming reality. And that's exactly what happened in 1982. And there you have it! Our ranking of every FIFA World Cup opening match from 1930 all the way to 2022. From the historic first whistle in Uruguay back in 1930, to the unforgettable shock of Senegal defeating the reigning world champions in 2002, to the 6-goal thriller between Germany and Costa Rica in 2006, these matches remind us why the World Cup is unlike any other sporting event on Earth. Because opening matches are about more than just 3 points. They're about setting the tone for an entire tournament. They're about making history, creating legends, and delivering moments that football fans remember for decades. Some opening matches gave us stunning goals. Some gave us unforgettable upsets, and some gave us the first glimpse of teams that would go on to become world champions. Now it's your turn. Which World Cup opening match do you think deserves the number 1 spot? Was it the pure entertainment of Germany versus Costa Rica in 2006? The historic significance of France versus Mexico in 1930? The incredible underdog story of Senegal versus France in 2002? Or is there another opener that you believe we've ranked too high or too low? Let us know your complete top 5 in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more football stories, rankings, World Cup history, and the greatest moments the beautiful game has ever produced. Until next time, keep the football passion alive, and I'll see you in the next video.